After exploring Zion and Bryce Canyon, the final stop on our Utah trip was to Capitol Reef National Park. We took Route 12 from Bryce Canyon, and it was a 2.5-hour drive with varied and spectacular views almost the entire way. The road climbs over 9,000 feet, and we hit some snow squalls near the top of the mountains. But when we got to the park, we were excited to get hiking. The first trail we checked out in the park was the 0.9-mile Hickman Bridge Trail. This trail has an elevation gain of 400 feet with unobstructed views of the rock formations and cliffs for almost the whole hike. Even though this was a short trail, we were excited to get out of the car and do an easy hike so we could take in the scenery. What surprised me the most about traveling from Zion to Bryce and finally to Capitol Reef was how varied the landscape is at each of the parks. Capitol Reef is a pretty large park with a huge amount of hikes that vary in length and difficulty. If you plan on hitting the park, the NPS website is a great resource for planning your adventure. While we were hiking this short trail, we got caught in a massive hailstorm. I did a separate video about the storm, and I'll put the link in the description below. You should definitely check it out. Unlike Zion or Bryce Canyon, there's no shuttle to take you between the viewpoints and different trailheads. We found that parking wasn't too much of a challenge, but in the summer months that might be a different story. The hailstorm was intense, but it passed quickly and the sun started to come out from behind the clouds. We were extremely hungry, but the weather seemed to be pretty unpredictable, so we decided to take in another good hike in case the storm came through later. The next trail we did was the Cohab Canyon Trail. The Cohab Canyon Trail is 1.7 miles long, with an elevation gain of 400 feet. We hiked further than the 1.7 miles, and onto another trail headed toward the Grand Wash. This trail was awesome. It started with a pretty steep climb, but once we reached the top of the plateau, the trail continued through rocks and trees with incredible panoramas in every direction. An hour or so into the hike, the wind picked up and the sky started to get darker. With the weather threatening, we knew we would have to turn around soon, but there was so much to see with a new view around every turn. Of the 3 national parks we visited, I think I enjoyed my time at Capitol Reef the most. Zion and Bryce were both amazing parks, and I would definitely recommend seeing them both. But the wide open desert landscape, varied trails to explore, and the lack of crowds makes me want to go back to Capitol Reef sometime very soon. When we stayed in Capitol Reef, we decided not to camp because the temperature was supposed to be well below freezing. Instead, we stayed at the Rim Rock Inn. It was affordable and the restaurant attached to the inn was awesome. Capitol Reef is also only one of 7 US national parks to be designated an International Dark Sky Park. This means it's awesome for stargazing and astrophotography. Here are a few night photos I took on our trip. Before leaving the park the next day, we did the short scenic drive and snapped a ton of photos along the way. I highly recommend taking this drive. And finally, I'll leave you with this awesome panorama that Courtney took on the Cohab Canyon hike. Don't forget to slam that subscribe button.